While feeling frustrated and helpless, dozens of protesters marched on Nigeria's parliament Thursday, demanding that security forces search harder for more than 200 schoolgirls abducted by Islamic militants over 2 weeks ago. Sarah Toms has more.
Singing from the same hymn sheet, dozens of protesters gather outside Nigeria's parliament, calling for security forces to search harder for more than 200 schoolgirls abducted more than 2 weeks ago. Relatives and civil servants are united in anger at the government's poor job in tracking down the rebels who stormed the school in Borno State and grabbed the teenagers.
We are so frustrated at the fact that 234 children could get missing, and there's actually no coherent explanation as to exactly the search and rescue operation that's going on concerning them.
Family members shed tears as reports came out that the young girls were taken as wives by suspected Boko Haram gunmen. The abduction has also become a symbol of the military's impotence in protecting civilians against the insurgents. And protesters here are determined the plight of the abducted girls is not ignored.
Well, for more insight on the abduction of the schoolgirls, viewers, and Luke joins us now live via Skype from Abuja, Nigeria. And good evening.
Hi, Vincent.
Now, there have been, as we just saw in this little package, protests in Nigeria, and I hear they're happening in other places other than Abuja. What are the parents of those missing girls saying?
Yeah, I spoke with relatives of the girls that were in Chibok, in the town in northeastern Nigeria where the girls were taken from. And they had a small protest today in the school. I spoke with a father who told me, listen, it's time to ask for help. What is our country doing? Is we need to ask the international community to come help us find our girls. I spoke to a brother who said they were just so frustrated by the complete lack of communication from the federal government and the military. He said, why can't someone just come and meet with us and talk with us?
You know, in our interview with Secretary John Kerry said actually the U.S. is giving a lot of support to the Nigerian military to pursue Boko Haram militants. Is there any evidence on the ground that the Nigerian military is actually utilizing whatever help it's getting to get to these fellows?
Yeah, I mean, that's the issue right now. There's a perception, in particular with regards to these girls, there's a perception that the government and the military aren't doing anything. You know, the relatives who've mounted search parties in northeastern Nigeria to try and find the girls themselves have said that they have seen no soldiers out on the ground when they've gone looking. That said, you know, in the military's defense, it's not like they can advertise what they're doing. It's not like they can tell people what their plans are and what their deployments are for security reasons. But, you know, that is the perception, that they're not doing enough. They're not utilizing what resources they do have to try and find the girls.
But, you know, even despite the fact that in such an operation, the military may not divulge a lot of information, are there any constant updates, at least to reassure the citizens that something is happening?
No, and I think that's the problem. That's what you're even seeing with these protests. You know, the march in Abuja yesterday, I was there. Most of the people who were there are not relatives. They don't know anyone in Chibok. They were just there because they're concerned, and they think it's not fair that the government's not talking about this. They're not communicating. You know, there's been a written statement from President Goodluck Jonathan, and then keep in mind, too, that military headquarters did have that problem. It's been kind of a PR disaster for them. You know, they issued that statement, remember, right after the girls were kidnapped, saying that most of them had been found. That statement was wrong, and they had to issue a retraction, leading to just a mass outroar against a mass outrage against them that they were lying. So, you know, my take on this is that they're laying low, that they've decided not to talk until they have something to say.
Well, up to today, though, has anybody claimed that he's the one who has these girls?
No, there have been no claims of responsibility. It's consistent with Boko Haram. This is Boko Haram's stomping ground. Boko Haram over the past year has been abducting young women. It's been documented by Human Rights Watch, by Reuters News Service. So they're known to do this, though not on this scale and this number. So yeah, no claims of responsibility.
Well, thank you very much, Anne, for your excellent reporting. Well, that's Anne Luke, Voice of America, who joined us live via Skype from Nigeria. Now, the effort to exert pressure on Nigerians and Nigerian authorities to intensify their search for the abducted girls has spread to social media, where thousands of people are tweeting out the hashtag #BringBackOurGirls and "Where We Are Our Daughters" on Twitter. There is also a page on Facebook called Bring Back Our Girls, which has garnered over 7,000 hits in an effort to find the missing girls.